across the gallery that had a lot of your pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a great one of George in a bobby hat. There was another one of George with a camera, but there's this really cool shot of a car full of fans.
Oh, yeah?
That's an awesome picture.
Well,
do you remember where that was?
Yeah, it was when we landed in New York the first time. And I had my camera with me, and these kids had heard we were coming, and they drove to the airport, and then they just sort of followed our car. But anyway, they came right in line with us. And they were, you know, you can see by the picture, they're all like looking at us. And I thought, well, I had the camera. I used to have the camera all the time then. So that is so great. New York and the kids, you know. So they actually made it happen because they just came right alongside us, not just following, you know.
But being, a photographer, you've got to see the moment, find the moment, and take the picture.
Well, you've got to, yeah, you've just got to take it.
I actually had "Grow Old with Me,"
John's version.
John's version, because it was such an incredible song.
Yeah.
I thought it was like "Jealous Guy" or "Imagine," and I always thought it was a shame that more people didn't hear that song. You've come back and
but I've done it out of the blue. I never heard it. I knew nothing about it. Really. So I'm hanging out and in this town, and Jack Douglas, who produced John's,
producer, right?
He, I bumped into him for several years, but just this year he said, "Well, did you ever get that cassette?" I don't know what you're talking about. And John was doing the Bermuda demos,
which they released in the album after Double Fantasy.
He covered all. He finished all of those. He didn't finish "Grow Old" along with me. But anyway, at the beginning of this, he talks about me. He says, not about that song, just about whatever song was on there. He says, that would be good for Richard Starr. That would be great. Ringo.
Did he really say
I
that?
held up. He's been gone for 39 years. I've got his voice talking my name. It's so emotional. Anyway, all of the others he'd done. Bar this one, and I had no idea about this one. It was like, what? I was shocked. I've never heard about it.
So, you had never heard "Grow Old with Me" until this year?
This year.
Oh my God.
And then, as usual, we went on the internet, and we found John playing it, and I believe it was George Martin put strings on top of it. And that's the only version, bar some girl singing it. That's all we could find.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because I think it's one of his best songs. So when somebody told me a while back that you had redone the verse, I said, oh my God, thank God. So can I ask you, I would think you had to feel a burden doing that song. Like, going, man, I want to do this right.
Well, I did it the best I could. That's how I work. And so I thought, I'm going to do it. And, I did the backing track and put the drums on and sang it. Grow old along with me. The only bass player I want on this track is Paul. I mean, he's the most incredible bass player. He's my friend. And I did point out to John Trek, said, sure, I'm coming over. And, he's now part of my family. Joe Walsh married Barbara's sister, so he can never say no.
He's got no choice, actually.
I wanted him. Yeah. And, it just came together really good. And, there's going to be some flack, but I didn't care. Look, I love John. I love this track. I've done my best version of it.
Yeah. Now, you talked about working with Paul. It's very weird. I was a little too young for the Beatles, but I started listening to music in 71, 72. So I got introduced to you through your solo stuff and through the other Beatles with the solo stuff. And like by 73 or 74, I was like, wait, they were in a group. So Paul playing on this, and you said in the book, he's always been very generous. But reminded me of one of my favorite albums, Ringo, the 73 album, where 6 O'Clock, which just an incredible song. It still holds up all these years later. But also the first 45, half the people won't know what that is, but the first 45 I ever bought was your 16.
Oh, wow.
And of course, tell the story about Paul and what people called the kazoo. You remember he did that?
Oh, yeah.
that solo? Yeah.
He just did it with his hand.
That was his big contribution.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys.
But that was how we were, when there were four of us. I mean, sounds. I've actually played just the boxes for the drums, not even the drum. And we'd play if it was around or I felt it was needed, it was that loose. And so he went into the kazoo on the track. But that record, and I was flashing back on that Ringo album because the band are on it, Dr. John's on it, everybody's on it. But that's like the All Stars now. Or the last 30 years. I love that because I get to play with all these great players and they support me and we go on tour.
Okay. Let's just say you had a great time out in LA. Coming up a little later.